Okay, so I hope everyone has a refreshing tea break and a networking along with it. Hope you're enjoying the session so far. And yeah, so once again, this is Pranita, and with me, we will have Saili Thete. She will be, she's raising her hand just to know who are going to be around. And then we have Venkat Subramaniam. He'll be here in another minute or so. So we will be here with you all throughout the day today, till the human track sessions are, going on. Saili will be helping us with the time tracking, and Venkat will be supporting us with the AV things. Okay. Without much delay, I think we should get started. I hope everybody got settled up. So the very first topic in this humankind track is going to be art of persuasion, boost conversation and increase collaboration. So we have with us Mr. Manish Holey, who will be our speaker for today's first session. A little bit about Manish. Manish is thorough professional with deep-rooted experience in delivering the newest and effective solutions for business process digitalization, agile transformation, and efficiency through automation. He has been instrumental in assessing agile maturity, develop mind maps for effective understanding of platforms. So after this quick introduction, I'll request Manish to please come forward and start with the topic. The floor is all yours. Thank you.
Just one announcement, Manish, before you. Folks, those who are yet to collect your water bottles, there are named bottles available in the lobby area, being gifted by Agile Waters. If you're not connected, please go collect during the breaks. Thank you so much. Enjoy. If they can hear me, that's fine. I will better off without. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Or should I take the mic? I can speak loudly. I'm fine with it. You need mic? Sorry? No, that's okay. Hello? That fine, sir? Okay. My first public presentation, so please bear with me that I will be a little nervous today, but hopefully it will serve the intended purpose what you are all here. All the best, Manish. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for encouragement. So, since childhood, we have two things in our mind. One is we have desires and we have expected outcome. Okay, desires like right from you being child, you wanted to be loved by loved ones. You grow up, you get a job, partner, so many things, and then you will have an expected outcome. If I wanted to go for a job or if I go for college, I should be on the top 3, I should be on the top 3 performer, and so on. So if you talk about the bridge between my desires and my outcomes, conversation is a very important part out of it. Okay, and most of the time you will find these conversations are for nothing but about persuading others. Even I am standing here today, I will try to persuade you that it is going to serve the intended purpose what you are here. You are going to get the aha moment, you are going to learn something new. I am going to persuade you for that. So that's what is the main whole intent of this presentation, about how we can boost the conversation and how we can make our so-called persuasion with others more successful about it. And that's what is all about. Hello, welcome all. My name is Manish Holey. I am a very agile enthusiastic and I am quite people-centric person, because I believe all these challenges are because of our human natures, and we as a human only can solve these problems. And that's what I am more interested and passionate about, how we can solve these problems, especially onto the digital transformation era. So what we are going to talk today about, I'm going to establish one thing before I go ahead, is that we all are change agents, be whatever role or responsibility we are having in our organization. Then I'm going to talk about Cialdini's principle of persuasion, which is based on this whole presentation is there. So there are basically 7. I have picked up 6 only right now with some intention. And then there will be a Q&A session. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer you for that. and then we will move ahead from here. Sorry. Okay. So, I was talking about since childhood, and we are talking about our expected outcome and our desires. So, for all these things, base is our persuasion, and I would say this one of the greatest superpower we all would like to have it. To whomsoever we are talking to, we are talking to our partners, we are talking to our senior leadership into the office, or we are talking to our friends. This is all about persuasion for us. So first thing which I would like to establish here, that we all are change agents here. What I mean to say change agents, that we all are going to make some difference in wherever we are, be it society, be it your organization, or be it into your family. Somehow the other way we wanted to change something, and that's what is the most important thing, is that we are all change agents. If I talk specifically about our corporate life, you be a scrum master, you be a product owner, you be an agile coach, whatever title you are having, you are going to be in a situation where you may be always in a kind of a sandwich situation. What I mean to say sandwich situation is that there will be an upstream people, maybe your leadership stakeholders, to whom you have to always convince about adapt agility, do certain things in a certain way, get rid of some old methodology and old school thoughts and all. So that's upstream. On a downstream side, you're always talking to your team members, where you would like to persuade them that how to adapt agility in a better way, how to better understand what are all the real values of Scrum, Agile, Safe and all. So that is what is all about. We being a change agent are always into that situation of being sandwich, where we are talking to upstream or downstream, and we are always in a situation where we need to try to persuade others to do that. So this is my kind of a groundwork I would like to do it, where we all are as a change agent, irrespective of whatever title you are carrying right now. Okay. Talking about Mr. Cialdini, he is American psychologist. He's an American psychologist, and he has given basically these 6 principles for sales and marketing area basically. And he talked about that, if you wanted to make an effective communication with your customers and want them to buy certain things from you, he has given these 6 principles, and they are reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking and social proof. So we are going to go each one by one in a detail. First principle of reciprocity, where we are talking about it's like a trust. Trust is a two-way street. If I am going to give you something, you feel bound to do something for me. For an example, as an agile coach, if I go to a certain team member, or I'm going to a restaurant, I'm talking to even a small waiter, if I'm giving a thanks to him or he's going to give me something, I'm bound to do something for him. So that's the way human nature is. We always try to give back. We don't want to take that debt from anyone else. We wanted to give it back. So that's where our first principle of reciprocity will work, where if you are going as a change agent with the team, I will take examples of agile coaches and scrum master here predominantly, because I belong to that fraternity more. Please try to correlate with your respective role. So first of all, if you are going with a team, never ever go as a framework implementer. This is my personal experience. If you are going to go to a team and going to tell, hey guys, I'm a scrum master. Remember, there are 5 ceremonies, 3 outcomes. You need to just ensure you have to do it. Trust me, no one is going to take your words or advice or anywhere. What you need to do it is, you need to give something first to them. You need to give your time. You need to listen to them. Trust me, in my experience, and I hope most of you would have also felt it, people want to get heard first, rather than you go and start preaching them that safe, scale, agile, this, Kanban, Scrum and all. So first, hear them out. And that's where they will start talking to you. Next thing is, but here one of the caveat, please do remember, do not get involved in any office politics or anything. People will easily get into, he said this thing and wo to aisa hi hai kind of stuff. You are going to listen it so many times. So please be aware, always ensure you go ahead as a thorough gentleman, thorough professional, and you lead by example. rather than you start getting involved with them into that petty office politics or some other stuff out there. You better be a person where who is showing that real character out of you and ensuring that they are not also, you are not getting carried away with their discussion. Okay. Most important thing is foster the culture of gratitude. Most of the people you would have seen it, especially at least in my experience, I have seen whenever I go as a coach out there, people say, I wanted to do Scrum, but that Scrum, but all that principles will start applying it there. I wanted to do, but this. Start letting them know that whatever right now is with you is very important. First, start taking care of that thing. Most of the time, I tell two things to teams wherever I go for coaching. I first tell them that first understand your role very well. Be a developer, be a product owner, be a scrum master, whomsoever. Be very good at your role first. Rather than looking at, as a product owner, she is not writing stories right. Are you doing your job first well? So please be that thing first. Second thing is knowledge. Take a very good knowledge of your field so that people will respect you for your knowledge rather than anything else. So these two things are very important out there, and you take that culture of gratitude. Like I remember in my school days, I learned one thing in Sanskrit, that Vidya Dadati Vinayam. If you have a knowledge, you should be polite. You should not be sturdy or stiff. Please don't do that. Next thing is about do let them know what sort of success and especially failures you have gone through. Because we all go through your websites of big corporates or any other things. We all will see that success stories. We have implemented here, we have done this, but no one tells you about story of failure. But we all are here who are sitting, we all know internally, we are because of our failures. We all are because of our failures. So please do that thing. Let them know about your failures so that they should not shy away to share their failures or their challenges with you, so that you can solve the real problem rather than making it a watermelon effect. Green outside, red inside. Next, about scarcity. I think most of you can really correlate with it, few seats left, only 2 days left for the sell. So we all, as a human, we all tend to own the things which are scarce, which are very rare. Okay. So that's the way, this principle is going to work out there for you, where you need to tell your team member that there are few things. For an example, first one is your events are time box, be it your daily stand-up, be it your Scrum planning, your daily stand-up, your planning meeting, your refinement meeting, your any other event, they are time boxed. So ask them to please be focused on specific things, what we are planning to achieve, rather than discussing everything else outside of it. Tell them that our time is less, so ensure we are focusing on the right things and going it ahead from there. Second most important thing is issue prioritization. As we have a less time or we have a limited time out here, let's ensure we are focusing on the right things. You may have 20 stories to discuss about, but talk to your product owner, talk to your product manager, whomsoever is the right person, what is the right prioritization for me, so that I will discuss that top 3, top 5 things in a given time, rather than, we have started spreading our discussions across the world and all. Now, same thing applies to your release or PI planning or anything what you are doing. And this is the most important thing, what you are going to get achieve and learn out of here is continuous improvement. And that's where the real essence of any good framework, whichever you follow, Kanban, Scrum, Safe or anything, you will start getting advantages of it if you follow about scarcity principle, where you will understand that given time is very limited for us and we need to focus only on prioritized issue and looking for the continuous improvement out of it. Okay. Let's talk about principle of authority. It's a very interesting thing out here, as it's written out there. Anything I say right now here, according to a study, everything else I will say out of that, you will going to believe it in. Rather than I say, as per my experience, you will give a less weightage to it. If I'm going to say, as per Gartner studies, these are the tools are very important, and everyone, oh yeah, Gartner has said this thing. Typical second example of this thing, and there's nothing right or wrong in it. You would have seen people do have their degrees, their certification either in their Outlook signature or into their desk, they are putting their certificates out there. That's the principle of authority. Saddahak itherak. So that means I know all these things, I am aware of these things. And that's what we all flaunt our certifications on LinkedIn too. That's the principle of authority. We let world know that I know these things. How much it worked or didn't work, it's next level of question. But that's what is the principle of authority is. But important thing as a change agent, what you need to do it out here is build your own expertise. If you go to a doctor or you go to any architecture, similar kind of profession as we are into, not all the things will have a thumb rule solution for them. Architect is not going to make same type of houses or homes. They do have fundamental principles, how to make base and all, but all the designs will not be the same. Similarly, here you need to build your expertise based on whatever situations you have faced and lead by example to your team. That team, yes, there is nothing wrong whatever challenges you are facing, because people tend to believe that my problems are very unique. तुम्हारा जो problem तुमने देखा होगा, I am not aware, but my problem is very unique. But the solution, remember, is always very generic. So you as a coach or a change agent, you need to take care of these things, that whenever you are going with certain situation, you have to guide them that yes, your problems are unique, no doubt, but solutions are generic, which you will get from your fundamentals. One of the biggest example I've always seen is people are complaining about, हमारा scrum काम नहीं करता यार, doesn't work for us. But second thing, we follow all 5 events. We have backlog refinement, we have daily stand-up, we have sprint planning, सब कुछ है हमारे, but Scrum doesn't work for us. If you go and ask them, without even I am knowing that team, ask them how many Scrum values they follow. Do they have openness in the team? Do they have a courageous team members who can talk about this is not working, this is working? And that's where you have started finding the loopholes. People may be theoretically putting a stencil and applying everything out there that yes, I am doing everything fine as per the book, but you are missing the real essence out there. That is Scrum values. Same thing, if you go apply any framework out there, you will find this is the most important problem out there. So what as a change agent you need to do it is, you need to build that relationship. And then you need to lead by example so that you will always get the intended result. What I learned in my experience from my failures out here is, as I said, first thing is do not become a framework implementer ever. That's not going to help you out. And second thing is that always ready to hear out people and don't give them ready-made solution. Trust me, unless until you are a consultant, and I believe that's what the basic difference between consultants and coaches. Consultants are there to give ready-made solutions. I am having this problem, fine. Like plumber or electrician, I will come, fix your issues, and I will go. I will not tell you that how you should do certain things so that this problem will never occur at home. Electricians will never tell you, plumbers will, अच्छा कर रहे हो, करो the way you are doing it. Same thing, there is a difference between consultant and coaches. If you are a coach, ask them a right question. Dare to ask them a right question and lead them to a right solution. That's a basic difference. Now, next thing is commitment and consistency principle. I think most of us could have related out here 1st January, अब मैं जिम जाऊंगा, अब मैं ऐसा करूंगा, and अब मैं वैसा, all that things. But there are few people who are declaring these things on social media or telling their friends or friend circle or their near and dear ones. That is what is principle of commitment and consistency. If you wanted to really do something, please make it public. I'm not saying that send an emailer to whole organization and tell them, yeah, we are going to implement Scrum and all. No, it's about make that team aware that we have product goal, we have sprint goal, and we have other quality goals to achieve for. And these are the things I'm going to do it. So the simple example, if I will give you, most of the teams where Scrum may not be effective is absence of sprint goals and absence of product goal. Because sprint goal is nothing but a subset of your product goal. So most of the teams will simply just go away, start doing the running the sprint, completing the user stories, getting the required velocity, but where they are heading, where is the product goal? Where is the sprint goal? So that's where this commitment and consistency principle says is, if you are making a sprint goal, if you are making a product goal, make it public to everyone, that this is the thing we are planning to achieve. This is the things we are tending towards. And that's where about, when these things are there, as a change agent, please encourage your team members that, guys, keep looking into it. So one of the things which I did for my teams, I do ensure we use Jira in most of the cases where I've gone through. You can have a sprint goal written and Jira, it will show on to the top of your sprint board. So daily, whomsoever team members are going to sprint board, they always look into the sprint goal at the top. So they are always aware what we are going to work for and what we wanted to achieve in a given time box. So that's what is the important thing, and ensure you also lead by example and ensure people are accountable for their respective activities. It doesn't mean to find a scapegoat. It's about looking at the very unit level of work. For an example, during the daily stand-up, do ensure that specific developers or other team members are performing their activities, and if not, ask them what challenges they are facing to perform it, rather than making them scapegoat. That's where the difference between feeling them or letting them they are accountable or making them scapegoat. Ask them, what can I do for you so that you can be successful into this user story. There is a difference out there. Next is principle of liking. So the simple example, if I give you today, I am wearing a similar kind of dress which almost everyone is wearing here. I am wearing a full shirt, full pant, formal shoes and all. What if I would have been wearing a sleeveless banyan and half pant and having no something, I would have been looked very odd out of here. And trust me, half of you people would have left this room within 5 minutes of this discussion. Correct? This is the principle of liking. We as a human being always tend to get biased towards the similar or liking people. Even despite that, something which is maybe wrong or false, still people have opinions or people will have more leverage towards it. A typical example of, I don't want to get into any controversy, but any type of social figures you can see, I would call them social figures. They will have a large fan following, they will get a large donations, they will have large illegal structures, but people will have fan following. People like to be into the group where others are there. No one wants you to feel left out. So as a change agent, if you are going to make a transformation into your organization, do ensure it's a holistic. Rather than only your 1 or 2 teams who are following Scrum and others are not doing, your team members will start feeling left out. And that's a dangerous thing, because that's where, based on my experience, and Mike Cohen's one of the book also I remember, he said that there are few people who are, most of them are neutral. In your given team, most of the people are neutral, kind of bin pendega lota. If things are going fine, they'll, sahi ja raha, sahi ja raha. If nothing goes, no, transformation not working. There are two extreme side of people, where few people will say it is not working strongly, few people will believe that it will going to work for you. So it is you who need to ensure that these extreme side of people who are believing that transformation is going to be helpful for us, start pulling them, start supporting them, so that these mediocre people are also start coming this way. People who are not going to support, don't expect them to support. Ultimately, when people started feeling left out, they will automatically abide with your whatever changes you are bringing. Yes, you may need to apply some samdam dandbhet in terms of management persuasion or enforcing certain things into your team. For an example, one of the things this year we started doing is infusing the goals into their yearly appraisals, that these are the goals you need to achieve it. This is something is enforcing things. So people were started automatically going towards that area where, okay, oh, I have to increase velocity of my team by 5%. I know it's the most pathetic example I could have given it here, but I'm just telling you. Similar kind of situation, you could have put it into their maybe a goal, maybe give them a challenge. Can we do it better than what we are? Last time our defect escape ratio was X. Can we have X minus delta this time? Give them a challenge. Okay, that's what the principle of liking is going to work for us. Next thing is about social proof. I think most of us are doing online shopping, Amazon, Flipkart. Unless until you are not very sure what you wanted to buy from there. For an example, you are saying, "Mujhe S23 purple 256 GB kharidna." Unless until you are not that sure, you are going to do some research. Okay, you will see what are all the contemporary models, maybe of laptop or phone or anything. And the next thing what you are going to do is, you are going to read the reviews from the people. How many 5-star reviews are there? How many 4-star reviews are there? How many 1-star reviews are there? And why they have given. So this is about principle of social. If 10 people are saying this is good, we tend to believe this is good. This is normal phenomena. Recently, last month in Mumbai, I have attended one conference, one workshop for visual thinking. So that person was telling us how to draw things, and I am a kind of person who was pathetic in drawing. I got back on my engineering drawing and machine drawing. Being a mechanical engineer is a shame. So yes, I am that kind of person in drawing. But what that person gave us a mantra to all of us is that if you draw something and you ask 10 people and they believe that it is the same thing which you are telling them is, don't worry about the world. Don't worry about the world. Same thing is here. If you wanted to buy something from Amazon or Flipkart, if you started seeing that consistently there are 5-star reviews, and even if you go to 1-star review or someone is saying delivery was pathetic, that means product doesn't have a defect. It was a problem, something with Amazon delivery something. So you tend to neglect them. So that's the way we do the social proofing of objects, what we are going to buy it. Similar thing what we are going to have it here is in our agile teams. Okay. If you are going to share the success story of other teams, but please be aware. In childhood, I used to hate when my aunt or my father used to come, "Are pata hai Khankar sahab ka ladka 20 ghante padta hai." And I used to say, I don't care, he study for 15 hours, 20 hours or that. So please be aware when you are doing sharing the success story of other teams, please do share with what sort of ways they achieve the excellence, rather than simply comparing that tum dono team to barabar ho, but why their velocity is better. Please don't do that thing. So you please do share the success stories. You lead by example from there, but please be little cautious. Have a caveat out there. Don't let everyone understand that you are inferior or they are better. Let them know they do have a similar challenges, but they overcame. Maybe they had a better retrospective. Maybe they have a better refinement sessions. See what we can do it to learn from them. And then most important thing is, as Mark Twain has said, that there is data, and damn lies. Show by data. Data can never lie. Show something in terms of whatever defect ratio you have, whatever the predictability ratio you have, whatever reasonable metrics are there. Talk with respect to them rather than you are doing good or you are not doing good. On what parameter you are saying someone or some team are doing better or someone not. Define that parameters. Make a data points out of it. It's altogether a very interesting topic about metrics and measurements, but that's where we need to, as a change agent, should focus, identify right benchmarks, and encourage your team members to achieve better and better into that benchmarks. Okay. By doing all these 5, 6 principle I was talking about, one of the most important thing I have learned into my um, experience is, if you are truthful from inside, if you are very sure about what you are telling, you will have a different level of conviction while delivering that. Whatever I am telling you, by standing here, you are going to believe me because I am truthful from inside. If I have a very fancy swanky suit out here, looking better than this, but I'm still showing you certain where I do not believe it to share it with you, you will be understanding it. It's a human nature. And especially ladies does have a better in that than men. They understand that someone is telling lie or someone, they have a better sixth sense, I would say. Okay? That's where husbands are always in trouble. So that's the way, as if I'm not truthful, that conviction will not come in my voice. As a change agent, if you're going to your team members and keep preaching them about principles, fundamentals, values and everything, and you yourself do not follow this, trust me, no one is going to believe you. It's a human nature. They will understand you are telling right, you are not telling right. Second thing is I love about Steve Jobs' quote about, if you wanted to make everyone happy, go and sell ice cream. This is the first working agreement I always make with my management, that unfortunately, I am not in a business of making people happy. I am going to make tough decisions. I am going to give them a tough assignments. And if that is not working for them, they may come crying to you. If you are going to entertain them, they will become your baby. You please take care of them. Don't come and tell me that I am not doing my transformation well. And if you are not agree with this agreement, it's better we should not work together. Because you need to trust me. As a stakeholder, you need to trust me that I am bringing an agile coach or a scrum master for certain purpose. If you wanted to still run your business the way you are doing it from past 10 years, 20 years, you don't need me. You need me because you wanted to bring change. And everyone resists changes. It's Newton's first law. Everyone resists changes. So if you wanted to bring that change, you really need to understand that you may need to take tough decision at some point of time. Okay? So that is what most important thing is. Please build your character. Anything which all 5, 6 principles I talked about, not going to work at all if you yourself are not following it. That's the most important part of it. And second thing, as I said, you cannot make everyone happy. You do tend to get attract towards office politics, tend to attract towards stakeholders that, that sounds, lenient stakeholder. I should do something which will favor him or her. Please don't do that. Your transformation will fail. So always make sure that what is your goal, make your principles right, so that you are always very clear what you need to do, rather than you keep getting here and there that, okay, am I doing right or am I not doing right? For an example, I have a principle that I will never take wrong side on a road unless until it's a matter of life and death. And okay, even if it's going to take 10 minutes more for me, I am fine doing that. But unless until someone is really heart attack, you're going to need to take them to hospital, yes, I will break that rule. So this is my principle. So please make your own principles and values. That is the most important thing. Make your character out of it. Then only these things are going to work for you. Otherwise, nothing is going to work for you. Okay, by saying this, I will open the forum for question and answer if you have. I am sorry if I was keep talking and not giving an opportunity to talk to you. I think this one for you. Yeah.
I hope that's social proof, basically. So basically, what you mentioned was about sharing success stories and failure stories and those stuff. So when we say that team 1 is doing good and team 2 is also doing good, but then team 2 needs to improve with certain things, and there is a data. But then ultimately, end result is we are delivering something each release. So both the teams are delivering, even though first team is following all the ceremonies properly, all the values and everything, but second team is not doing that. But still they are delivering the value or delivering the product. So how we can say that team 2 needs an improvement in certain areas, or how we can justify what data, because ultimately everybody as an engineer, I say that, okay, you want a delivery, I have delivered it. So what you want?
Excellent question, and that's kind of an unfortunate situation we all are into industry. Metrics like velocity, most exploited. You know, team 1 is having 50 story point, team 2 is 60, they are doing better. I agree with you, that's an unfortunate situation where even despite someone is doing, may not be very right, but you're always going to get into tough situation if you're on a right path. That's what they said, that वो पथ क्या वो पथिक को चलता क्या जिस पथ पर बिखरे शूल ना हो नाविक की धैर्य परीक्षा क्या जब धाराएं प्रतिकूल ना हो. So if you're doing it right, you will always be into the tough situation, but trust me, you will sustain for long. You will sustain for long. If your fundamentals are right, you will sustain for long. Yes, for a time being, your team 2 may get the bronze medal or some appreciation token and all, but trust me, if your fundamentals are right, your values are right, keep working on it. Trust me, eventually it will show in your metrics too. Yes, in one instant, 1 quarter, 1 month, they may be a better team, but when we talk about consistency throughout the year, they may not sustain out here. That's what my personal experience out here. We can talk about specific metrics based on which we are measuring them, then we can better comment on it. But at a generic level, I can comment on that.
Thanks.
Okay, this question was regarding the principle of authority. Now, let's say if you are a case where where you say the Scrum Master is supposed to be a leader who serves, there is no authority per se. How does the Scrum Master convince the team to follow specific set of processes or set of metrics? How can he be an influencer or persuasion when we say that he is a person who is influencing without authority?
Thanks for question. So this is the typical situation we all face being a Scrum Master and a coach, where the biggest problem or challenge for all of us is that we need to influence rather than we need to authoritatively push someone onto doing that thing. So again, that's an important thing in terms of how you are going to measure and going to lead by example with them. If there are certain specific areas, as I can tell you right away, without knowing any team, generically it will apply. One is non-application of Scrum values. 2, your retrospective meetings are not effective. These are the 2 things predominantly I have seen in Scrum teams where they are not getting into the way. Or people started thinking, leave it retrospective, we know what is things and all. But that's where you're losing the biggest opportunity. So what, as a Scrum Master, you may need to do it, or a change agent, you may need to do it is, please bring data points. Are we improving consistently over sprint or sprint? Trust me, answer will be no. Then give an example to them what we should be doing it. See, that's what I'm keep telling people, that there is a difference between coaching and teaching. In teaching, you will tell them the theory and expect them to follow. In coaching, you are going to question them and direct them into certain direction. One of the things which I learned from one of my mentors is, being a coach, my job is not to answer your question, my job is to question your answers. Remember this thing. If you are a change agent, question their answers. They are saying, we are doing good. Okay, why are you believing you are doing good? Okay, हमारी velocity ठीक है, we have this defect ratio. Again, do you really believe this is the right thing? So please ask question. As a coach, change agent, your job is to ask question, not to answer them. Okay. Now there is only 1 minute remaining into this session. I will be happy to answer questions next time. Can you give the mic to this lady, please? Last question.
Thank you, and it's very nice session. So my question is that when you enter into team as an agile coach and the project is quite stable from years, so you will face many people who will feel that yes, we are delivering, we know our project, and you just know the process. So how you gel into that team, how you create your credibility over there? That's a very common problem when you start coaching any projects to come into agile. So many defensive people come into the picture that we know.
So you are saying that team is already doing good? They are consistently.
They are delivering, but we want to implement some, for example, from a Scrum to Scaled or something like Agile practice. So we are as expert in Agile, but the team is also expert in their delivery and their domain. So this conflicts always come into the picture that we are already doing. So how will resolve
That's
this?
a very good question
Yeah.
again. Thanks. See, at times we being a change agent or agile coach, we try to force agile on the people. It's not necessary to enforce agile. If you are already doing good, why the hell you wanted to change? If you're consistently delivering value, see, end of it, implementation of agile, scrum and safe is all about delivering value to customer. If my delivery value to customer is happening in a right manner right now, why I wanted to change the process?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see,
Policy.
if you have a futuristic things where you wanted to move to something, then again, like SAFE has given the implementation roadmap, please follow that thing. That could be a better way where you formulate lays, you formulate, start giving training to executives and all. And I remember my first experience, the best, that was the exact situation what you're talking, where people were doing pretty well, but we wanted to move to Scrum. I'm talking about 2006. It was new fad things. The first thing what they did is they introduced Scrum to all executives. What you're saying is right, is top down. Get your leaders influenced but whatever they are doing it, and then enforce it from the top to bottom, rather than try to boil the ocean from the bottom and see if people are doing well. Okay?
Thank you.
Apologies, we have a very less time here. I will be happy to talk to you beyond this thing and okay. Sure. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
Manish, please be with us for a couple of minutes. And thank you for the wonderful session. I hope everybody have enjoyed it. So I would like to thank Manish and felicitate him from the APGI team. I would request Ms. Namrata to please come forward and felicitate Manish. Thank you. Thank you. It was pleasure having you here. Okay, so thank you, Manish. So you see on the board, sorry for the two different barcodes over there, but if you look at the art of persuasion, we have a Slido board created for the feedbacks. Please do, share your feedback on this number 3712596. This is for a Slido board. You can go to the site and enter that number and you can give your feedback. And with that, I would probably, we need to go to the next session. And the second session, we are going to have from Ms. Namrata Maheshwari and Saugata Bagchi. And this session is on the emotional agility. So a little bit about Namrata and Saugata.